Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day and got great things going on in your shop and in your life. We want to start a brand new project today for a special person that we met in Atlanta this last February. Jess from Crow Creek Designs is such an amazing person and an unbelievable talent. You guys probably know who she is if you're on Instagram. She does amazing epoxy stuff, resin stuff, tables, and she's just a tremendous artist. Anyway, we're filming this prior to our Alaska trip, and we're hoping to be able to give this to her while we were up there. So we are doing her logo. This is Crow Creek Designs, her logo, and we're going to carve this and do some other stuff on a piece of white poplar. This is gosh, I don't even know what size this is, and I don't have my tape measure. What is wrong with me? Thank you. Gosh, do you have a bigger one? I'm not sure this will be big enough.
My nephew gave me that.
Wow, it is 15-inch round. And how do you, oh, there it is. 15-inch round. So what we have to do first, we've got it sanded nice and smooth. Vicki did a great job in her sanding. But we've got a little fill to do here. So I'm going to use the Star Bond medium brown, which they were kind enough to send me. So I'm going to do some fill on the front, and then the back needs some fill as well. So I'm going to come back with my gloves, and we'll get that filled in and sand it off so then we can get into the layout process. Okay, like I said, here is the Star Bond medium brown. Now what I like to do, I mean, I could use this tip and I think it would work just fine. But I really like these little spouts. I don't know if that's what they call them. That's kind of what I call them. And they're kind of a one-time use. But I really like these spouts for getting into tight places. Little tight areas. This stuff, just, you guys know I really love this Star Bond stuff. So I'm trying to get all the little nooks and crannies, or like I just like to say, crooks and nannies. But anyway, that's just my thing. So I'm going to try and seal this whole thing up so that when I go to do I'm going to do a transfer process. I'm going to use a freezer paper transfer process on this, but I will be spraying it black because I'll be doing it all inset so it comes out like the logo. So now we're just going to use the spray. I think I got all of, well, looks like I could do a little bit more there. But there's some fill areas on the back side as well. Much bigger gap filler there. So I'm going to, now I'm going to actually take that little spout off so I can get a little bit more in there. Hopefully that'll, I might have to do it 2 or 3 times in these big areas. And then once this stuff all dries, as you guys know, I'll be sanding it off, sanding off the residual. Anyway, guys, you can see kind of what I'm doing here. I will definitely have to do some filling on that. I think maybe a little bit more on a couple of these. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, we'll be right back, guys. Okie doke. So we've got the layout here. We've got the board sanded down. We've done all of the fill and the brown worked out really well. So the fill is done. We're going to be sanding it off again after we spray our black. But so what we're going to do now is the transfer process. So there's the there's the product that we use for the freezer paper. Works out really good. We've been using this for a while now. Works out really good. We've done a lot of videos on the transfer process, and this is my favorite right now. So we put it in rapid resizer. Vicki put it in there and then printed it out backwards. So the way I figured out where to put this on was basically set it on the board, face up, take all my measurements so I know I'm about centered, top to bottom, left to right, and then I just made some little pencil marks on the edge. So now all we really need to do is just tape it down and hopefully transfer it on there. All right. So this stuff, oh, this paper also, by the way, if you watched prior videos, we kind of cover this with a spritz of silicone spray. We use silicone spray, just a couple little spritz on there, kind of wipe it off, and then that kind of coats the paper and makes it transfer a little bit better. And we've showed that many times. So now the trick is to lay this in place without smearing it. Looks like that is about right. So you can do this with, you know, masking tape like I am, or you could do it with packing tape. And being as this is a black and white picture and artwork, it should give us a pretty good transfer. Again, I know a lot of people would rather use a laser printer and then a medium like acetone or lacquer thinner, and I've done videos on that. That works out really well. This is just my favorite as of right now. I like this process a little bit better than that. I know some people are still using carbon paper and doing it that way. Hey, we all have our favorite ways of doing it. This just happens to be mine. And what I have found is that on this white poplar, it shows up pretty well. Being a light colored board, the black shows up pretty well. So I'm going to do a brand new process on this that I've never done. You guys are going to see that pretty soon here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, a little bit more. All right, let's check it out. A little bit splotchy, but it gives me what I need, what I want. Not sure exactly why it turns splotchy like that, but it doesn't matter. Those are all going to be inset letters, and I'm going to ignore that splotchy look because that really doesn't matter to me. Those are going to be black anyway. I got my leaves. On the actual image of the crow and the branch is going to be something a little bit different. But yeah, I think I'll lay that down and just do it just a little bit more. So this transfer we did on the copier just about, what, about 15 minutes ago? Yeah, about 15 minutes ago, something like that. So I know many people have asked over the last year or two, you know, how long does that stuff take to dry before I can start my transfer process? And that actually, it's the opposite. You don't want it to dry, because once it dries, then you don't have, it won't make a good transfer. And I got that little piece right there that doesn't want to kind of transfer. Anyway, see, actually that worked out pretty well. Okay. I like it. I really do. I like that. I think that's going to work out really well. Yeah, excellent. That's going to work really, really well. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to come back and we're going to do some carving on this. I think that's the next process. So we'll be out on the patio and we'll get to carving this thing. Okay, it is time to get to carving Jess's sign. So we've got some interesting things going on with this one. Like I said, I think I mentioned before, the crow and the branch, we're going to do something different. We're not going to carve that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these 3 leaves, these little letters, and these letters. And I'm going to use a profile bit. And these are pretty small for the profile bit, but I think I can pull it off. I am set at about a 1/16 of an inch deep. Actually, I think I'm set, actually, I misspoke. I'm set more like an 1/8 of an inch. But I won't be that full depth the whole time. I'll be kind of moving it up and down depending on what part of the letter I'm at. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that. So I've got the profile bit. Let's get it done. right, folks, I think you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. So I got these little letters done. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera and these leaves off camera, and then when I come back, we'll spray this and sand it off, and we'll talk about the crow a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use the primer, and I've masked this off because I really don't want to do much sanding on here. We're just going to get some black down in there. Not overspray. That's it. All right, we'll let that set for a minute and we'll come back and sand it. Okay, So what I'm going to do here, you can see I sanded off the crow and the branch because we're doing something completely different on that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the disc sander, and being as I just don't want to sand too much here, that's as much as I dare do with the belt sander. Now I'm going to sand my finish sand with the disc, so we'll be right back. So what I used on here was a 120. Now I'm going to actually drop down to 220 and do my finish sand on there with 220. So I'm going to do that off camera, and when I come back, we'll get on to the next portion.
Next step?
Next step, portion, whatever. All right, that's it, guys. That's it for this video. We're running way long. We still got a long ways to go on this one, so we'll try and get it all done on the next video, but it may be 2 more videos. I'm not sure, but there's some really cool aspects of this sign that we've never done before, so I think you're really going to enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We'd love it if you give us a thumbs up and share this video with someone you think might like it. If you need anything from us, just let me know. Eric at makeawoodsign.com. If I didn't put some details in there and you've got questions, just email me. If you need some supplies, there's the website there. We love you all. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.